Hey guys, welcome back. I'm top music attorney Miss Krystle, and this is the Top Music Attorney podcast where you learn how to stay legally protected. You learn about the entertainment business. We're going to be going through, as always, I have a super tip for you. Later in the show, we're going to be talking about all things newsy. Have you guys been watching that show, Inventing Anna, on Netflix? I know it's so popular right now, but there's a lawsuit over this show, and Netflix is in hot waters. We're going to talk about what the lawsuit is about, how it applies, and I will give you my ruling on whether I think the plaintiff will be successful in her lawsuit. So other than that, we are also going to be discussing Natalie Portman. So she has a series, and the series was dramatically halted because someone showed up and basically tried to extort $50,000 at gunpoint. So we're going to talk about that. And funny enough, because my law firm represents a lot of filmmakers, film distributors, this is something that I have a little experience in. So we're going to talk about that as well. And of course, Chris Rock. Well, we've covered him extensively on this channel, him and Will Smith, and the infamous slap. He was asked to host the Oscars again, and we have an answer in today's show. So as you guys are filling in on the chat, hello. Nice to see everyone here. So as a reminder, we are live every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. p.s.t. This is the place where I'm going to be able to answer your guys' questions. If you have questions about your music career, the music business, entertainment business, I got you covered on all things. Hello. And it's all good stuff. All right, the community is here. This is like one of my favorite things. I so appreciate you guys. That yes, we got the gavel. Okay. I so appreciate all of you that come and check in every week, every show. It just really means the world. There's a good chance that the AC in the building just went out. So if for any reason I start glistening, you'll know why. It means the air is officially not working and it gets so hot. It gets so hot anyway. That's when things are going well. So because the AC may or may not be working, that could be a thing. But anyway, I have an announcement. I will be making it after we run the intro. Of course, we have a lot to talk about. So let's just get into it. And then that way we can just kind of jump into things. And then leave a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're checking in from, what time is it, and how are you doing, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm top music attorney Miss Krystle. I'm an entertainment attorney, public speaker, and creator of the Top Music Attorney School for artists and record labels. I'm the owner of Dukes Up Records, and most importantly, I'm an independent artist. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss my weekly videos giving you my best tips on the music business, industry news updates, and teaching you how to stay legally protected. Let's go. Hey, yeah, I just, so my show producer just came in and he's like, yeah, I think the AC is definitely out. And that's probably, I'm drinking super hot tea. It's just what I do. And I don't think I'm going to stop. I think I'm just going to do my thing. Hello from the UK. Yay. So I kind of have on the side here, I have Instagram also running today. We don't normally have our Instagram fam with us, but we do today. Hello from Utah. Awesome. Got to get that Orko on the AC. Yes. Do I want water? He asks. Yes, I'm definitely probably going to need some water at some point, but that's okay. You know what? We are here to talk it out, sweat it out, bleed it out, whatever we got to do. It's 3 a.m. in the UK for those of you in the UK checking in. I appreciate you being here. You guys are rock stars. I don't know how you do it, to be honest. Iowa, 9 p.m. All right. Very nice. Well, good morning for those of you who are just getting up or staying up super late. So, quick announcement. I've been teasing this the last couple of shows leading up to today, and I've been working on this, it's a PDF, but basically this is like a supercharged document of 28 music business secrets that every artist needs to know and how to not get screwed. So, I'm going to take you through and actually show you on the screen what this looks like. I'm so excited about this, and I wanted to do this because it's just kind of like a 101 kind of thing, but there's so much information packed into this that even if you are someone who is like a professional in the industry and you think you know a ton, there's still a lot that you're gonna learn from what I put together. So let me show you what this looks like. It's a free download. Okay, so I'll have it in the description for this video on YouTube. It should be on the other platforms too, but if not, just go to topmusicattorney.com and then you'll see it on the main page. But in any case, it's the 28 music business secrets every artist needs to know. And so what I do is I go through, and the first piece of it is that I'm going to define these terms, some of which you may or may not know, right? We're talking about mechanical licensing collective. What is it? Why does it matter? We're talking about royalties. There are 4 types of royalties. So I'm actually going through and defining 28 of these really important key terms used by professionals in the music industry. But then I have a business tip underneath each of the terms. And basically what I'm doing is giving you some of my best information when it comes to blanket licenses, when it comes to copyright. Well, thank you, Mr. Producer. Look, I got some water. He's helping us out. So when it comes to, you know, these things, how do they work, and basically what are the best hacks? And then I went a step further and actually hyperlinked a lot of this content. So if, for example, I'm talking about cover songs, how do you do cover songs? I give you the definition, my best tips, and then I give you links to, you know, videos that I have done to supercharge your learning. So you can actually deep dive on all of these topics. And like I said, I'm super excited about this. So it's just a free giveaway. You go in, you put in your name and your email so I know who you are, but then you get immediate access to the PDF. So I'm hoping that you guys will love this and you'll find it super valuable. Just go to topmusicattorney.com, or it is in the description of this video. Download it and then let me know what you think on the next show. I really want you to go through and, you know, if you found it super valuable and helpful, what did you learn? What was surprising to you, especially on some of my like business secrets. So in any case, I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so let me go back to this. We're gonna be getting into a quick music video. You guys know we're always gonna run the music videos. But before we do that, regardless of what platform you're on, don't forget to like and subscribe, okay? When you like, you know, the video, it helps us so much and it sends out all the right vibes to the YouTube algorithm and the Facebook algorithm and the LinkedIn algorithm, and it lets them know to push out the content. So if you like what we're doing, please be sure to hit like. All right, let's go back to the chat. How we doing tonight? How we all feeling? Yeah, I never miss a show. Perfect. Well, I appreciate you being here. That's awesome. Chris on YouTube, there's always things to learn, even if you're considered an expert in any field. That's true. And even for myself, you know, I've been in the entertainment field since I was 4 and learning music and, you know, just kind of being involved in various ways. And even today, being an actual entertainment attorney, I represent myself on, you know, most deals, but still there are times you always need to be going and seeking that mentorship and always learning. There's always something new to, you know, be learned. I was talking to my legal assistant today about that, and, you know, just the kind of stuff that we have to deal with through my law firm on a day-to-day basis. There's a lot. I do not need a little fan. All right, we're good. We're good, everyone. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the music video. You guys can hang tight for like 2 minutes if you want. Feel free to go and grab that PDF. We will be back in about 2 minutes. We are running Relevant music video where I transform into an extraterrestrial alien, which was just me living my best life. Relevant is one of my original songs, so I hope you enjoy that. We will be back right after, and I will be in the chat.
Shed your skin and come back again. A piece from whole, from saint to sin. Letting go of where you began and be reborn in the wake of it. Feel the glows from your naked skin. Feel at home the place you're in. Never mind the storm, your dreams will keep you warm. In a struggle to become relevant, we constantly test our innocence. May our broken halos serve as evidence, pieces of our souls for percentages, pieces of our souls for percentages. Holding on just to take it in, finding that comfort in strangers' grins. Wake up in places I've never been, calling home, no one's answering. How I remember when I was young, my only worry was having fun. I'll go back someday, mother, I'm on my way. In a struggle to become relevant, we constantly test our innocence. May our broken halos serve as evidence, pieces of our souls for percentages, pieces of our souls for percentages. We all wanna be somebody. All we really need is somebody down to make us feel good, down to make us feel we're relevant now. All I really need is somebody, forever gonna love somebody down to make me feel good, down to make me feel I'm relevant now. I'm holding on to me. I'm holding on to me. In a struggle to become relevant, we constantly test our innocence. May our broken halos serve as evidence, pieces of our souls for percentages, pieces of our souls for percentages.
All right, hey. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I like how at the end of the music video, that's probably my favorite part. I just love what the special effects, our very talented special effects artists did, and the whole I'm about to detonate kind of thing. And you know, I just really love the very end of it. So I hope you guys like that. Bjork has nothing. Who's talking about Bjork? Bjork forever. Don't get that Orko started on Bjork. I think she might be his top favorite artist of all time. Setting aside Miss Krystle, of course. Yeah, Bjork vibes. I like that. All right, so speaking of that Orko, we're going to bring him in. We're going to get into a conversation about what's going on in entertainment news today. Let's go. Hey!
Hey, what's good? Shout out to the community. I appreciate y'all being here and showing up every Tuesday and Friday on the show. We are live. If you are watching from Facebook, if you're watching from LinkedIn, please come over to Top Music Attorney on YouTube. This is the main source. This is the hub. This is where we want to broadcast from. Join the community over here, but it's great to see you guys. Let me know. Let's do a vibe check in the chat. Why don't you guys put your favorite emojis in the chat for me? Let me just see where your vibe check's at right now.
Or like this is a fun game. What are the top 3 emojis, right, that you use? Put those.
Yeah, put your favorite emojis.
It's gonna reveal a lot about our followers. Do that as well over on Instagram. Give me your top emojis, the top 3 that you use. All right, so
So
while
yeah.
while the chat's doing that, how you doing? What's good, that
I'm
Orko?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You know, I was real nervous to even see if the show was going to happen today because there was this massive power surge that like sent all the speakers and the internet and everything into this big fried frenzy, and then it came back on, and now we don't have air conditioning, and I got fans, so if it's a little noisy, I apologize, but it is getting warm up in here.
I'm seeing
Warming
some
up.
interesting emojis. I see fire, star, Saturn, K, fire, 100. So Eric's very emotional, expressive. That's good. I feel like that would be mine. It would be like the laughy, the
Yeah,
cry, and then
the laughing ones, the muscle and the fire are probably the my top three.
heart, devil face. I feel like that would be mine as well. Heart, devil face, and camel.
A black heart. You like the black hearts?
I do the black heart and the spider a lot, and then I
Love
also do
spiders.
obviously black heart, black heart because of my hair.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. It's interesting to see what people use. We got a mermaid there. Oh, wait, no, not that one. This one. You follow a lot of cute cat pages. Who doesn't?
I mean,
I've
I
decided I've decided that I need to actually unfollow all of the cat pages that I do
it's
because I'm
all I get
wasting my
suggested.
time. I need to unfollow everybody and everything and not consume social media anymore. That's what I've
My
decided.
my my feed is on Instagram is like cats and like plugins for producers. Like that's what I get served: cats and plugins.
Yeah, no, I'm on a whole new mission. So if I unfollow you, don't be offended. I just gotta unfollow everyone here soon. All right, so what do you think? Let's jump into the news stories. Up first, I think we should talk about Inventing Anna. What do you
Let's do
think?
it. Let's do it. Now I've seen this show a lot. I'm always seeing it popping up on the suggestions for us, but I have yet to take a look at this show. But this is pretty interesting. What's happening here?
All right, so Anna Delvey's former friend Rachel Williams is suing Netflix over the Inventing Anna depiction and specifically how they depicted her. And so she's saying Rachel Williams, she's one of the women that was scammed out of money by the fake heiress and Delvey, and she's ready to have her day in court. According to court documents, William is suing Netflix for false light, invasion of privacy, and defamation for the way they depicted her in the series. And so what they're saying in the complaint is basically they used her actual legal name, which was a little unusual because they did not use the legal
Right.
name and actual biographical information about,
And
or
like
for other characters.
other characters,
They
they changed
did
them all.
for her.
Like I even saw, I
Yeah.
was like, even like where she went to school, where like they're getting like pretty like specific. So if you're going to, we're gonna get into this, but if you're gonna go down that route of taking liberties, why wouldn't you take liberties with the one that you're not? This seems like when I saw this, I was like, that's why it was interesting to me because I'm like, this seems like why would you even if you're already go ahead tell.
All right, so the reason why they had to file the lawsuit, they're saying, is because Netflix used Rachel's real name and biographical details and made her out to be this horrible person, which she is not. So her attorney, in fact, I saw an interview that her attorney did. He's going on talking about this has had devastating damage to, or done devastating damage to her reputation. She's now getting thousands and thousands of DMs from angry fans because of how she was portrayed as being kind of like this leech, opportunistic, a bad
They need to take
friend.
the internet away from people.
Well, but to her case and her point of just, I've been represented as this real person, I am this real person, they're saying all this stuff about me, but they are telling untruths. And her attorney is saying in the complaint they have 16 different instances in the show where the show, you
It's
know,
taking liberties.
taken liberties. Now, there was a little disclaimer at the beginning of the show. It says, quote, this story is completely true except for the parts that are totally made up. Okay, so basically there's this little disclaimer at the beginning of the show, and we've talked about this when we've watched some rap music videos, right? So at the beginning they might say, if any police are listening to this, all the lyrics, everything that I say in this video is made up and can't be used against me. I mean, we've talked about when someone or a company gives a disclaimer, does that have a legal effect?
Yeah, no, I was thinking of what video did we do? I think it was like a Young Thug video that you reacted to. I think it was a Young Thug video that you reacted to where they had that disclaimer at the beginning. Was it? I don't know if it was Young Thug. I feel like it was where they had a disclaimer, or Lil Durk video where they had a disclaimer at the video. It's just like, oh, this is just a song.
Yeah, so in the context of the question of, well, a disclaimer by Netflix saying the story is true except for the stuff that we made up, so basically don't take everything as truth, is that enough for them to survive a defamation claim? Because a defamation claim is saying that you willfully, or in this case with actual malice, intended to harm my reputation, right? So if I'm this person, and you made these statements falsely and with a reckless disregard for the truth, you knew that I'm not a horrible person. And in fact, I think she's even put out a book. She testified against Anna. So there's a lot kind of documenting what the real relationship was, and Netflix embellished quite a bit.
So what do you think of when you hear this? Because for me, it sounds like she has a case, but at the same point, like, don't do that. Does that disclaimer, or do they just, because it's entertainment and it's just show? I mean, we all know, like, no docu or one of these biopics is ever completely. People take liberties. There's perspectives on things. You could argue perspective, like, well, that was your side of it. From our perspective, we thought you were a real, ish, so I don't know, like, is it like
Yeah,
that?
that's a good question. When it comes to biopics, typically we're going to be doing what's called a life rights agreement with the principal people. We want to make sure that we have permission to avoid lawsuits, for example, like this. So they actually did not have the rights to her story, and in fact that's kind of hinted at in the complaint. So they're saying, well, Williams ended up optioning her life rights to HBO, right? So Netflix's competitor. And so was this Netflix's kind of shady move because she didn't give them the rights?
I'll tell you what, that makes for a case. That makes for cause. And you're crazy if you don't think that writers are vindictive about things that they see going on, or not even just being mean about stuff and trying to hurt people. Like, think of shows like Family Guy. Think of shows like like South Park and stuff, where they're doing parody of people. It's like the writers have full control to kind of put whatever they want on the screen, whatever message. Also for the fun stuff. Sometimes I'll see like Howard Stern references in TV shows, because the writers are fans of like the Howard Stern shows, so they'll put little jabs, or they'll put little congratulations or shout outs and things. So my question is, what if she was saying that she was getting kind of harassed and maybe some threats or something like that?
Sure.
If something had taken action, one of these fans had taken action, and her excuse was, well, I watched this Netflix show and they portrayed her out to be this whatever, and I just I want it, because people wow these days. Wow.
Yeah, well, look, if she's obviously claiming that there's been a degree of emotional distress caused because she's getting these harassing messages, and it's a result of how she was inaccurately, to her complaint, inaccurately portrayed in the show. And I think that any resulting damage goes to that. So when the attorney was asked, well, to the damages, you didn't really claim an amount. And his response is, well, we're not quite there yet. That's going to be something that we have to determine at trial, because it's difficult, right? We saw this with the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard defamation case. These are very high standards. I mean, we've had lawsuits against Donald Trump, Sarah Palin. We've had someone in the betrayal of...
I'm seeing, I was just thinking of like Alec Baldwin. And I'm just thinking, yeah, so I mean, Saturday Night Live and all these shows are kind of getting away with this stuff. Like, is the difference because they're trying to portray this as a true story?
Well, wait, let me finish my thought though. So what I was saying is that as it relates to those lawsuits against those other people, they failed because it's such a high standard. Yeah. Now, going back to kind of what you're saying with, if there is, and there's two parts of this, right? There's the defamation claim, and then there's false light in the alternative. So it's all just kind of going to, basically, you betrayed me in a way, or portrayed me in a way, not betrayed me. You portrayed me in a way that was false, and that has resulted in damage. And I gotta be honest, when I kind of initially read this, I was thinking, well, if she had given Netflix the right to her life story, then unfortunately that's what it says in the contract. It's gonna say, we have the right to portray you however we want, and you can't say anything, and you can't sue us later. But she didn't.
Right.
And
So
that's
now
a
it's
big
like
piece here.
Yeah, so now it's just like a defamation. Yeah, no, I hear it. I see it from both sides, but I also see from, hey man, I'm just trying to make an entertaining show, and you know what I mean. Like we can't be held by the rules of, I can just pull out every show that's supposed to have anything with some kind of factual. I'll pull out Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and we'll talk about Abraham Lincoln. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to do? So,
Yeah, and
yeah, no,
the actress played, who played her, even said that in an interview. She's like, I haven't even reached out and had a conversation with
mm,
Williams,
mm,
because I understand that the writers have to make her interesting. Because think of like the dichotomy in the relationship that she has with Anna, right? So Anna is the villain, right? She's the heiress or the pretend heiress who's taking advantage of people for their, to pay for her lavish lifestyle. But they need to make every villain not sympathetic, but you need to be able to connect with the character. And you can
right.
do that by having this counterpart. So Williams became the counterpart as kind of this like
Imagine
leechy.
Yeah, no, imagine the writing meeting. So they're trying to write this character and just like, the insult isn't we're defaming you. The insult is, yo, your life is so boring and you're so
Oh,
uninteresting that
jeez.
we can't change anybody else's characters that we've kind of, because they're fine. You got nothing. You go to Starbucks every day, you come home and hang out with your cat, and then like you get, like I got nothing. I gotta put some Melrose Place in there.
Yeah, so look, if someone was portraying me in a way that I didn't like and made me look bad and was resulting in public scorn and
Yeah.
people are now messaging me hateful things, trust me,
That's a dangerous
I
thing.
would have a feeling about it for sure, and particularly because my understanding is that HBO holds an option to her life rights. Netflix doesn't. So Netflix, from what I understand, did not have free range just to go and write the character however they wanted.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how something like that happens, because something like that, if she does end up winning, something could set some kind of precedent for how people come after some of these kind of shows. They're like, hey, I was a waiter or a cab driver in this movie about this famous person. You portrayed me to be this real jerk guy or something like that, and now you know what I mean. Like if
But
it
that's
could open the
absolutely
door.
what goes into it, right? So if I write a movie and direct a movie and release a movie and it's featuring you, right? In some incidental kind of you were the boyfriend of someone at some time. I mean, no matter how I portray you, you're going to have an opinion about that, and those publicity rights play into it. Everyone has publicity rights in how they are portrayed and whether they give permission to someone else to make money off of them. So there's a lot that goes into this. It's an interesting case.
I think I would just rather just see. I think a big thing too is just I would just like to see less internet trolls. Just in general, just leave characters alone from TV. Stop thinking they're the real people that are in movies when they're actors, or you know what I mean. Just start focusing on your own lives and get off the internet so much. Except for from every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Then we want you on the internet.
That's right. That's right. We want you right here. All right. So that's where we're going to hold off on that one for now. I think that Williams has a strong case from what I can see, and this is one that's going to continue for a little while.
Leave her alone.
All right, moving on. There you go. You guys got the gavel. Are you happy? I need star emojis when I do the gavel.
All right, I'll
Can you guys give me
do.
like some star emojis, or give me something? Give me some pump it up emojis when you're excited about the gavel. All right, let's move on. We're going to talk about Natalie Portman. This was kind of a scary situation, and I
Totally.
wanted to talk about this for a couple reasons. So, Natalie Portman, her series is halted because, like, right in the middle of production, because someone shows up and at gunpoint demands $50,000 or he's going to shoot someone. Okay? So, Lady in the Lake, it's an Apple TV series starring Natalie Portman, and it's been halted again because of this, guy who showed up and was demanding the $50,000. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about what happened and then the fallout from this, but I'll give you guys just a little bit of when we do film productions, we always have to have insurance. Okay? Because you never know what's going to happen on set, right? Someone could get hurt, someone could get shot just in the making of the production. We've obviously
Right.
heard cases when this
Right.
has happened. But this is kind of a more unusual instance where, where was security? Now potential liability comes on if someone was hurt. what was the studio producing this film doing to protect everyone, and why did this guy get the idea that he was just going to get $50,000 on a film shoot? So, not that we know the answer to any of that, but just thoughts to keep in the back of your minds.
So if those are the answers to the questions that you were looking for, we don't got those right now.
So the August 26th interaction, so this was just a couple days ago, was first reported by the Baltimore Banner and then confirmed by producers in a statement to Deadline. Friday afternoon on the set of the production Lady in the Lake, prior to the arrival of the cast and crew. So that's a good thing. So before cast and crew had actually arrived, per their call time, a driver on the production crew was confronted by two men, one of whom brandished that's a good word, brandished a gun directed at the driver, and then they filed the location, the statement said. So the men would shoot someone, or they said, if the demands were not met.
Right.
Okay. So directly after that, the police were called and they ended up fleeing. And so they did not, in fact, get their $50,000. But this is why security on the set is so important. And we've seen so many instances where was security? I mean, can you think of any on the show that we've talked about recently?
Well, I mean, obviously security and things like, concert events where we've covered those kind of actions, but this is in Baltimore. So, I mean, it's a city, so some of the stuff is pretty tricky to do. And, when you have security, like at what point and at what time does security start? Are they responsible for the set? Are they responsible for, 2 blocks up the set when people are just kind of driving and they, they're pulling in to get some coffee somewhere. And then all of a sudden, somebody jumps in their car and is demanding $50,000, or, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the situation, at what point. But it's interesting. It sucks because they didn't catch them. So now, they're living under this fear that they're out there and they want this. And we have 100, people or 50 people on this production or whatever it is. And, he could be following, the makeup girl home, and then the makeup girl gets shot or threatened. And because it's not even like, they're not going for Natalie Portman. They're not going for the director.
Well, okay, so that's a good point. So Austin on Instagram goes, it doesn't seem like it was about money. It seems like there's something else going on here. And I think to your point, this was before cast and crew had even showed up, right? Because if they were going to really make a scene and really put people's lives, in jeopardy,
but
it's safer
to do it without that. I would think you wouldn't want to
probably
go, because
a little
then there would be police and security there for, for them, at least bodyguards. This way is actually kind of smart, because they're like, I'm not saying we're going for the top. We can't get to the top. I can get to the caterer. I can get to the makeup artist. And that's
I just
why
go
it's
back
scary.
to, who did they think had the $50,000, right? So if it's just minimal skeleton crew that's there at that time. Now, at this point, they have beefed up security on the production, because obviously they're going back into shooting and they want to make sure everyone is staying safe. So this was a very unusual kind of circumstance, but this kind of thing happens. And so if you are a filmmaker, if you are someone that, has terrorism. Live events, you gotta make sure that you have some kind of policy in place for when there's some kind of episode like this.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like that. Just people are just out of control. You know what I mean? Like, it's just people are really into the whole, on a personal level, on a bigger level, just this whole fear thing, just putting fear into people, and I'm going to put you in fear, and if your crew's going to get whatever, or you better do what, I really hope they catch them and kind of make a real example out of that situation. Because that's just, don't get started.
On that note, don't get started. Moving on. All right, here we go. We have a little bit of an update in regards to Chris Rock. We have been covering the slap since it happened. I think the night of the Oscars when it happened, I was in bed watching that kind of thing. We jumped out of bed, hair erect, and just had to go and do a reaction because you're just so.
Did you guys see what happened?
Yeah.
Go check out that original video and just see how we do things on the late night.
Yes, I think we might even have a playlist. Just you'll find it. So in any case, Chris Rock was asked to do next year's Oscars. Okay, what do you guys think he said? He has in fact responded, and he said, hell no, in his own words. So, of course, Chris Rock famously became the talk of the 2022 Oscars after Will Smith slapped him on stage, but the comedian isn't trying to be the talk of next year's ceremony. In a recent stand-up, so he was actually here in Phoenix, and he says, basically, and what did he compare this to? He goes,
He said he was like comparing it to like Nicole Brown Simpson, like going back to the restaurant, to instigate to the
so her going back to the restaurant, she ate out before being murdered.
Right.
So that was the comparison that he made to the likelihood of him doing this again. And then he also said that when he was asked to do a Super Bowl commercial in light of the slap, he also said absolutely not. So what do you think about him basically just not wanting to exploit these opportunities?
Yeah, like I say F him. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't need it. He's on this tour right now, this sold out tour that's happening. Chris Rock is going to be just fine. All like for the Oscars to even suggest it is even more of kind of like an insult. They didn't help him out, and now they just want to cash in on advertising dollars because it would be such a huge deal for the Oscars, not for Chris Rock. I'm sure they hit him up and like, oh, this will be a great opportunity for you to show them and kind of take back your whatever. No, it's a great opportunity for the Oscars to hike up the advertising dollars because everybody's going to want to see.
That's an interesting point.
And so, and the same thing with the Super Bowl. It's like, I don't know, like he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. Like he could totally just go like the Dave Chappelle route and fucking hang out, come back. That guy's like one of the funniest guys on the planet. I love Will Smith. I've said that ad nauseum at this point, how much I love Will Smith and just I'm a fan of, but the boy did him wrong, and Chris Rock doesn't owe anybody a comment, a statement, and accept Will Smith's apology.
Do you think at some point though he will? Because he said this, right? Didn't he say, as far as me really addressing this, I have to really get paid? So Chris Rock did kind of allude to maybe he'll do something. I think he'll do, like a Netflix stand-up special, and he'll make his $50 million.
Absolutely.
Which he should.
And I think he should. I think that he is a smart guy. He has been in this business a very long time, and I think that it's his decision to make as far as if he wants to go out to the highest bidder. And then when people go, oh, he got paid $70-80 million for one Netflix special, and then you're going to see the comments on that, people going, oh, he's so overpaid, like he deserves it, like he doesn't deserve that much money, oh, these entitled actors. And then my comment to those people are, hey, why would you ever try to halt anybody from running their business and making the money? What would you rather the money go back to the Netflix executives who really deserve it? People need to get off of it and start respecting talent, whether they're athletes, whether they're actors, whether they're musicians. They're the talent. They're the talent, bro. Get someone else if you don't want to get it. But remember, it's just executives that are getting that money.
Well,
Crazy.
So on a side note, as we're talking kind of about Will Smith, we also did a reaction to Will Smith's apology video, which was the follow-up apology to his already apologizing. And again, we both love Will Smith. We are both fans of Will Smith. But
Jada Smith was running that camera. She was right behind that camera.
But, particularly my goal is to always try to remain neutral and fair and, just kind of detached when it comes to what the law is. And so that was kind of the purpose of analyzing what happened. But I think at this point, the fact that Chris is still getting poked, do you want to do this? Let's talk about that. And now the money and the offers will continue to get greater and greater and greater until he finally agrees. And I think it's going to be a Netflix stand-up special.
I hope so, and I'll watch it just like everybody else will, and it'll be the talk of the town, and it will earn its money. Get your money, Chris. Get your money. Get it.
Get it indeed. All right, so obviously this is not the end of this story, but we'll continue to follow it. So let's chitty chat for a second, and then guys, we're going to be moving into my I got to figure out a way, they're like super fancy charged tips that will make you a badass attorney without having to go to law school. That's what we're calling it. So we're officially moving on from our new segment, and we're going to have a super sexy tip here in a second. But let's go back to the chat. I'm a little distracted because we have Instagram running today. Hello, Instagram. So if you guys aren't following on Top Music Attorney Instagram, make sure you are. I love our family there. We are growing so much, and I think we're about to hit like 50,000 if we didn't already. So very cool. Things are going well, and I'm very excited for our families on all these different platforms and
Yes.
bringing us all together. Okay.
And getting your messages and like kind of connecting with you guys off the platform. We've been connecting with you, a lot of guys coming actually through the website. They said you're watching our videos, you're checking out the topmusicattorney.com website, you're coming over, you're signing up for these courses, and we're kind of getting to know a lot of you guys that way. So if you haven't been to topmusicattorney.com, it's not just a hub for just to send you back to YouTube. There's all kinds of exclusive things, including that new PDF that she spoke about earlier, the 28 music business secrets.
That's right.
So make sure that you are over there at topmusicattorney.com to check that stuff out. But yeah, no, this community has been growing, and it's been great getting to know you guys for real, like seriously.
Yeah. And someone on Instagram had a question, are you a real attorney? I feel like if I do this for like the next decade and then one day I do a video and I'm like, just kidding guys, not real. I mean, I'm sure there are people who pretend to be like doctors and nurses and all
Do they
these
give law
things.
degrees to people with red hair?
Do they give law degrees to people with red hair? Yes, who knows? Who knows? And in fact, why don't we save the official answer for another time? But I think you guys probably know the answer to that. But I do get that question from time to time. And
That's a weird question.
That's a interesting question. Are you a real producer, that Orko?
No, I'm actually in gardening. I'm in gardening.
Are you a pretend producer? I need to see the credentials. Do you know that attorneys actually have cards? So each year the attorneys are sent from the state bar cards that have our numbers on it. So they're actually super fancy. You know what I'm saying? And so I have a card, okay? I'm gonna have to show you guys my card. What'd you say about Netflix? If you want to see the replay on our show, we will be posting this. It's live right now, but we'll be reposting it. So you can just go to Top Music Attorney on YouTube, follow, subscribe, and then you can watch the replay there. All right, let's go to the chitty chat, and then we're going to kick that Orko out of here so we can do our tip.
But I also
best.
wanted to update, for those of you who've been following, we've been kind of talking about the record that we've been working on right now. Speaking of music production, this record that I may or may not be producing.
Now it all makes sense to Winston that you are a gardener. No, but yes, we do have our new album in the works. Very excited.
Yeah, no, so we are about to send off that track 2. We actually got a little behind this weekend, but it's going out. Real excited for these new songs. Like they are sounding great. The mixes coming back already are sounding great. So I think everyone's going to be real excited for this new material. Make sure you guys are staying tuned later. Another music video we're going to run. People have been requesting or saying how much they love the Evanescence cover. So I pulled it back out. So that's going to be later. So stay tuned after the tip and you'll see our Evanescence cover that we did. It's a lot different from the original. So,
Hey.
But
all right.
Yeah.
Should I gavel you out of here? Do you want to
gavel me out? It's time to go. Peace.
All right. And that is the end of that Orko. He is now going back to gardening. And we're moving on. All right. So in our tip segment, which I need to officially rename, once again, if you guys have questions, comments as we're going through this, please let me know. I have the chat up and I'll do my best to kind of reference it. FYI, I have an outline and I'm just kind of freestyling all the stuff. So we're going to try to make it all work because we want to make this as valuable as possible. So for today's music business tip, we'll be discussing how to get discovered as a rapper. Okay, so getting discovered, right? When I say that, something pops into your head and it might be that a record label is going to discover you and make you a big star, or someone is going to be able to come into your life to make a real difference. Everyone has kind of a different definition of what getting discovered means. For me, it's about connecting with the right people who can help you in your career. And I think really that's kind of the baseline of what we all feel and want, okay, when we're thinking about how do we get this thing called our music careers to take off, to get to that next level? So I'm going to go through in this video and we're going to talk about some of my best tips of what I've actually seen from my clients. You guys know I'm a real entertainment attorney, and I've in fact seen my artists become, not only big hits, so to speak, but to actually have something meaningful take off. If it's a viral song, to then have record labels come and make these $100,000 offers. So we can talk about all of that. But before we get into it, make sure that you guys are following on Top Music Attorney Instagram. I don't always promote it on this channel, but I definitely want to give it a little push because this is definitely becoming our biggest platform. We're posting like 2 to 3 times a day on that platform, and it's really a great place to be able to connect with you guys. So make sure you go and follow on Top Music Attorney Instagram. Let's jump into it. So number one, when it comes to how to get discovered as a rapper, as kind of your glorified business card, have a strong song. Okay, of course, make music, always be working on your craft. All of that is great. But when it comes to having really that one strong song that you're going to be able to say, hey, this is the thing that represents me, you want to know what that song is. Because oftentimes when there's someone meaningful that comes into your life, okay, that will give you an opportunity and maybe they'll go listen to something. You might have just that one shot. And it's not going to be your whole song. They might go and listen to the first 15 seconds of it, the first 30 seconds of it. So make sure you really are working on the work product itself, because if you want to be a, big star and you want to have a successful music career, all of it's going to come back to obviously the music. And over time, music gets better. We get mixers and, better producers, or we get better as producers. That's all fine. But having a really strong song is going to be helpful as kind of that glorified business card. And case in point, I think it was yesterday. So my show producer and I, we were kind of listening to this artist, and, my show producer was playing this guy's song for me. And it was incredible. Like, it was really incredible. And it was comparable in quality, in his style, in the production. Everything about this song was amazing and comparable to like mainstream music and mainstream artists. And then I had some follow-up questions, right? And so, let's look at this guy's social media. And I mean, this person had basically 0 following, 0 plays on music platform, but the song was incredible. And so as a record label owner myself, I'm now interested. I'm going to be following this guy to kind of see, all right, so now what else is going to happen? Is he promoting? And I'm just kind of looking to learn a little bit more about the artist. This is going to happen for you. As you are wanting certain people to come into your life that can kind of help elevate your career, whether it's a label, a manager, an agent, then you want to make sure that they get hooked into you, and it happens with that song. Okay, so make sure you have that strong song, and then even if you released it a year ago, 3 years ago, however much time has lapsed, if you still feel like that's the song that best represents you, continue promoting it. That's not only good because we never know when a song is going to go viral, and I have so many examples of when an artist will have a song go insanely viral like a year after it was released. Okay, so that's number one, but if you continue to promote it, it's fresh on your feed. Okay, so when someone comes and is checking out your stuff, they will click on one of your recent videos and they'll hear that song. That's your strong song, okay? And of course, new fans are coming in. They're gonna learn about it. It's all helpful. So number one, when it comes to getting discovered, have that business card of the great song ready to go and be constantly featuring it as part of the content that you're pushing out, okay? Number two, when it comes to how to get discovered as a rapper, you got to be active on social media, okay? So when it comes to kind of what you're promoting, that's probably the hardest piece for most rappers. They get very overwhelmed and they don't know what to post, when to post. It's just too much. They're like, oh, I don't want to do stupid dance videos or selfies. And so because they have a story in their head of what it means to promote on social media, they talk themselves out of it and they just never do it. So let me put it this way. Think of social media not just as an opportunity to just spam and overly market your music. You don't like it when people do that to you, so don't do it to other people. And consider if you were like in a room, there's a party going on, and you're networking and you're talking to people. What would you share in those conversations, right? You wouldn't be sharing, hey, did you hear my song? Let me play it for you right now. Go listen to it right now. Go listen to it right now. Like, how annoying would you be? And people would like throw you out of the party. Instead, if you're going around and you're telling stories about being an artist or something maybe just related to your life or your job or your family. And so what I like to encourage rappers to think about is come up with like 5 categories of things that you can talk about, right? So one might be you're a rapper. So you can talk about what you're doing, what you're making, you know, the tell the story, right? The take people on the journey with you, right? So that's number 1. Number 2, maybe you're into sports, right? If you like basketball, so you're talking about playing basketball, you're showing yourself playing basketball. Number 3, maybe you're into like personal development, right? So what have you learned lately? Did you listen to books? Did you watch a great tutorial on YouTube, right? Or are you just talking about your journey from point A to point B and just kind of sharing about that personal development? Number 4, family. A lot of people like to just kind of share, hey, you know, it's Mother's Day, I'm with the mom. It's what's important to you. And then maybe another, you know, a 5th category might be food, right? Something we can all literally, you know, feel comfortable talking to each other about food, posting pictures. So whatever those 5 categories are for you, it's up to you to come up with them, but then you just cycle through it, right? So you take pictures of that thing, playing basketball, right? Hanging out with family, put them in folders in your phone, right? So the day that you take it, go and organize it into different folders. And then as you're going to post, you don't have to think about it because you already captured the content. It's ready to go. And now you can post one day about the music and then the next day about, you know, your personal development, or the next day about, you know, your athletic endeavors. And so that now you have a content strategy, and all you need to do is actually post and then add a couple of hashtags, right? And there's different techniques that you can go and learn about to make what you're doing go and get pushed out to people so they see it. But the first step is just to get a plan, take some content or take pictures and video, organize it, and then post it. Okay? Now, you know, obviously as you get more into posting and understanding SEO and understanding the importance of hashtags, that's all good stuff. But if you're not posting at all, then you're not doing your job as a not only artist and rapper, but as someone who's going to be a business person. You got to get that business mindset. You got to promote yourself. So that's number 2. Be active on social media. That's how you get discovered, because you are being consistent, because you are broadening your voice, your audience, your growth. And it all starts with those couple of steps I just went over. Okay, number 3, when it comes to getting discovered as a rapper, follow artists like you, okay, that maybe you want to be like or have a similar sound. Engage on their content. What you'll find is that sometimes the teams of the people that you are following, you'll make friends. Okay, so when I was kind of, you know, early in my career and I'm trying to figure out who to shoot my music video, I'm like, oh man, this guy who did this video, super cool. I love this style. I love the energy. I love the edit. And so guess what? You can go and make friends with that person. And don't just go and like ask for favors. Don't just go and take. Just go and make friends and network. Then by following them, you engage on their content, give them some value, support them. Wow, that thing looks great. And so what you do by doing that is that you then get discovered by the teams of the people that you're interested in, right? So their managers, their agents, their videographers, their tour manager. You can meet all these people who are ancillary and around the artist that you want to be like, or you want to kind of have a similar career path. And then they discover you, and guess what? Now the manager of this artist or this rapper is interested in working with you because you made friends. Then you sent your badass song, and then that manager went and looked at your social media and saw you have your game on point, right? You're doing your social media posting. And so that's a way, kind of the long play of getting discovered to then build your team with the people that you want to work with. But obviously this also extends to labels, right? Labels are people. And the A&R reps are constantly on social media scrubbing to find the next best thing. It doesn't mean you have to have the biggest social media presence, but you got to be hustling. And if the label rep sees you're doing it, they can be like, okay, cool. I can just pour gasoline on this little fire that this rapper has kind of built for him or herself, and this thing is going to blow up. Okay? All right, number 4, when it comes to how to get discovered as a rapper, get an entertainment attorney to submit you to labels. Okay, we're going to talk about this for a second. I feel like this is the number one thing that rappers kind of jump to, and they'll go, I just need to get an attorney to submit me to a label, and the label will discover me and know that I'm wonderful, and they'll sign me and make all my dreams come true. So you can do this, and I'm even going to tell you how, okay? But this is not the thing that you should do first, because you are going to blow it. You are going to maybe get that person, get that record label to go and check you out, but you haven't built your social media. You haven't built your audience. You don't have that great song. You don't have any listeners on not social media, but music platforms. Okay? So by asking them to look, they're going to look one time, maybe, and you might blow it. Okay? So look, either way, if you wanted to get an entertainment attorney to submit you to a label, this is the way I would suggest you do it. People reach out to me all the time and they say, hey, will you please submit me to this or submit me to that? I usually say no. But if you were to reach out and say, hey, I found this contact, this is the A&R guy over at Universal. I put together my EPK, which is an electronic press kit. I have a video on this. You can just search electronic press kit, Miss Krystle, on YouTube, and I teach you how to do it, why it matters, all of that. And then you just say, hey, I'll pay you for your time to send a quick email or a letter to this person on my behalf. Great, I'd be happy to do that. The problem comes when you just blanketly reach out to an entertainment attorney and you say, hey, will you submit me to record labels? Okay, what does that mean? Does that mean you want me tapping my personal contacts for you, person I've never met? So if you strategize and you say, no, it's specifically for this person, this label, who I think is a good fit for my brand, then you're more likely to get someone to say yes and to kind of put their name on the line for you. Okay, that's if you want to do that and go down that road. And I'm mentioning that because, of course, I'm always going to give you guys the tools and the information that you need, but I'm going to add to it and just say that might not be the best idea. You have a lot less negotiation power when it comes to what the contract's going to say, the rights that you have in the record label deal, if you're the one that went begging for the opportunity. It's tough, but when it comes to being patient and waiting for the right people to approach you, like the record label, when they approach you because you've been hustling and you built your platform, you built your audience, now you have so much more negotiation power. And I promise you will get a much better deal if you're not so eager beaver to get the opportunity. So that's why I just want to at least give you that caveat. Keep that in mind. So those are, essentially the 4 main categories when it comes to how to get discovered, right? Make your voice heard, have your music, build your audience, and then you can even have a strategy for actually reaching out and submitting an EPK. Labels are way more likely to open the email and to give you the time of day if you have an entertainment attorney representing you. That's just how it goes. And then also, sometimes artists aren't sure if they're ready. If you're not sure and you want maybe to have an entertainment review your stuff, I do that as well on this channel. You can go to topmusicattorney.com and there is a artist submission. And so if you want, we will review your music, right? If you have an EPK, your social media, and give you an opinion based on your project, of where you're at, where you should go, and maybe some things that might need to be tweaked. So we definitely do that. And if you want to kind of check that out, just go to topmusicattorney.com. All right, guys, and then last but not least, if you want a deep dive as far as just kind of understanding how the music business works and you need to stay legally protected, you need your contracts, I got you covered. Check out How to Keep Your Dukes Up in the Music Business, which you can get as a digital download. As part of the book, you get 8 free contracts. These templates are like $700 a pop. They come for free because I want you to stay legally protected, so make sure you check that out. All right, guys, so I hope you found that helpful. Kind of, what I want to interlace with these tips is just, the practical application of how this stuff works and how things can backfire. There's this kind of we can talk about these in a, we can talk about things on a 360 viewpoint and to say, here's all the stuff you need to know. But practically speaking, this is how it works. And this is what happens. And I can tell you this because I'm on the ground floor every day doing this stuff. So I hope you found that tip helpful. For those of you in the chat, thanks for hanging out during. So, as I understand it, we're going to be running one more music video, and then we're going to get out of here. And as I noted, make sure you come over to Instagram. Hello, Instagram. I'm so glad that we could run it today, and we might be doing this again on the next show. Who knows? But make sure you come over to Top Music Attorney Instagram. We will run the video now. We're doing my Evanescence cover, Call Me When You're Sober. And I'll see you guys on the next show, which is Friday at 7 p.m. p.s.t. I love your faces. I'm Top Music Attorney, Miss Krystle. I'll see you on the next one.